Hi guys, Alena Shautsova, immigration attorney from New York is here. This is going to be an update with regard to the current situation in immigration. What are we hoping for and what's happening with USCIS? The backlog, asylum interviews, real ID. So thank you very much for watching. Please like, share this video. If you have not done so, subscribe to my channel. I regularly post videos that share some very useful tips and of course provide you with updates with regard to the most recent immigration news. So let's start. Both USCIS and Immigration Court currently are experiencing tremendous backlogs, and each of those agencies decided to address them a little bit differently and similar in their own ways. Well, first of all, as you are aware, United States Congress finally approved the spending bill, meaning that USCIS is going to have money, we hope so, to hire more people to work on cases. The cases backlogs are now millions, count by millions. It's 1.5 million about of cases in immigration court and several millions in USCIS. So of course more people are necessary to address that. But here I'm going to share tips with you what to do if your case has been pending for forever. Here's what you can do. First of all, you can file requests to expedite your case directly with USCIS. However, you will have to meet certain very tight requirements for that. Humanitarian reason, or maybe some extreme hardship to your employer, you have to argue, or to some non-for-profit organization. Without those qualifications, your case is not going to be expedited, even though you should try, especially if we're talking about employment authorization, to do that. Second option would be, which is my personal favorite, to ask a congressman for help. Why? Because it's free for you, it's effective. If you, for example, had your interview rescheduled and never received a new date, if you, for example, have a work permit that is never being adjudicated, but you're losing your job, or perhaps you're about to lose your job, right? Or you lost your job as a result of the delays, and the case is far beyond processing times. Or if you have a loved one who is in Ukraine, Russia, or some other country where this is affected by a conflict of some sort, right? Armed conflict, civil war, something, natural disaster, you have a chance of expediting your I-130 application with USCIS. So these are the options we have right now. You can expedite the case. You can ask the congressman to help to expedite the case. Unfortunately, other than these two options, there is only one third one remaining, which is I call nuclear. It's a lawsuit against USCIS. And at times you would use that if the other two options failed. But this is how currently a person may address tremendous backlog. Of course, we're talking about USCIS. If you are in immigration court, what you can do? Well, you can file a motion to advance your hearing. You can ask for prosecutorial discretion. All prosecutorial discretion is going to find you. Recently, prosecutors started exercising their discretion and filing motion to dismiss your case rather than go forward with it on their own if they see that you can adjust your status with USCIS, for example, instead of waiting for a court date. Another thing I wanted to talk to you about is Real ID Act. It may be relevant for those of you who are in the United States and you guys don't have documents related to immigration status. It's relevant because starting May 3rd, 2023, if this date is not going to be moved again, so far it's been successfully moved for about 18 years, the person who is in the United States and would like to travel within the United States may only have to show that they have a state-issued ID in order to board the plane. The plane representatives, airlines representatives, do not care about your immigration status. They cannot. It would be CBP officers who would care, perhaps. But starting May 3rd, 2023, the plane representatives or airline representatives will start caring under the law if you have a status in the United States or you don't. So a big change is coming, okay? Big change is coming. Again, May 3rd, 2023, Real ID is going to go full force, meaning that the local governments will have to issue IDs only to those who can demonstrate they also have legal status in the United States, and the ID is going to have a special sign on it demonstrating that you were verified. All right, so this is something to know about. Again, Real ID Act has been around from 2005. It changed certain ways we are considering cases in immigration law. It had some other provisions, and one of the provisions was that requirement of any person who lives in the United States and would like to get an ID to verify their legal status. But so far, for 18 years, it's been successfully postponed, this particular requirement. Some states became Real ID compliant, but starting May 3rd, 2023, all states must be Real ID compliant unless this date is moved. And finally, I want to talk to you about something very important. It's human trafficking status. I meet people sometimes who are sharing with me some horrible stories of mistreatment that they suffered in the United States, and they had no idea that they may qualify for T visa or T status of a victim of human trafficking. There is a misconception going around that in order to qualify for that, you have to be physically transported from overseas to the United States by these bad people. This is not the case. Even though it can be in some situations, you also may qualify for T status if you are, for example, a victim of labor trafficking, sex trafficking. Those are legal terms of art. It means that they mean more than what you hear. So if you, for example, been abused by boyfriend or girlfriend, if you were, for example, abused by your employer, if your employer created some false petitions for you, trying to keep you in the United States, threatening that you depend on their ability to sponsor you, at times you may qualify for T visa, T status in the United States, and it does not matter how much time passed from the time you suffered this mistreatment. I just want you to know that, because I meet more and more people who had this bad experience, but they have no idea that they were able or would be able to fix their status in the United States. It doesn't matter how you enter the United States. If you are a victim of human trafficking, you can receive status in the United States. Just wanted you to know that, and I'm also going to post a little link for you to read more about this directly from USCIS website. So thank you very much for watching. If you find this video helpful, please like, share, and don't forget to sign up for my channel, and I hope to see you soon.